So at this time, I call the Appomattox County Board of Supervisors to order. We'll stand for the invocation by Mr. Carter, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We thank you for this day. We thank you for life itself. We thank you, dear Lord, for all the blessings that you have given unto each of us. We thank you for the many organizations within this county that promotes good relations with our neighbors. We thank you for that. We thank you for our armed services and the protection that they provide for us. Thank you for public safety, dear Lord. This day and time, as you know, public safety is gotten out of hand, and we need your help to get it back to where it should be. We ask you to bless the sick and bless the ones, dear Lord, that have passed on before us. Bless their families. For all this we ask in Christ's name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we're going to have a special treat. Mr. Stanley Baker is going to sing the national anthem for us.
Unfortunately, Mr. Baker is ill.
Okay. All right, next up is setting the agenda. The agenda, is there any addition or changes to the agenda? All right, I have a question for the attorney. Since we've already done agenda item 1, do we need to delete it or just skip it?
You would go ahead and remove it from the agenda if it's already been completed. If it's already been completed, you can just remove it from the agenda.
All righty. Then I recommend that since we've already completed item number 1, swearing-in ceremony, that accept a motion to remove that from the agenda.
So moved.
Reverend Jones has moved to, is there a second? Mr. Carter, second. Okay. All those in favor of moving item 1 off the agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, now, any other amendments to the agenda? If not, I'll accept a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Reverend Jones has moved to accept the agenda as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Carter is seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. The amended agenda has been approved. First up is citizens' comment period. This time is provided by the board to allow citizens the opportunity to address the board on issues of importance to the citizen. No individual citizen should be permitted to address the board for more than 3 minutes. And Ms. Helen Adams has requested a chance to speak. So please state your name and address.
Yes, I'm Helen Adams. I live at 273 Turkey Road. And I just have one statement, plus I have a couple of questions. Hope you all can answer it for me tonight. As you're all aware, several months ago, you all voted to have the wedding venue proposal rezoned on Piney Mountain Road. And I just want to let you know, one night my sister called me. She said, I want you to hear, one question, Mr. Hinkle, you asked them, can you keep the music inside? And they said yes. And when my sister called me, and she said, I want you to hear something. She's standing on her front porch, and all I could hear was boom, boom, boom. She said, he could hear it in the house. All the dogs in the neighborhood was letting them know they didn't know what was going on either. And my niece, who lives less than a half a mile, her dogs were all upset. So anyway, I just wanted to share that much with you. It's kind of disturbed the quiet county setting that used to be over there. One question I have, and I hope y'all can answer it, that one. Why are the special notices for Appomattox County published in the Farmville Herald and not the Lynchburg paper? I don't know anybody that gets the Farmville Herald, unless it's on the far end of the county or Prince Edward County. So And the other one, I know it went to court about the Oakville property that you all voted to sell because it was deeded to the school board. They had to vote to sell it too. And I had heard prior to all of that, that if it was ever to be sold, it was go back to the Owens estate. And I had done some research myself before the first hearing, and I couldn't find anything about that. But anyway, it was found. And I understand it went to court. And I want to know if you all can tell us what the outcome was and how much money the county lost on that.
I had a Ace, is there something you can do? I had a problem hearing her because of the echo or something.
They need some cushions on the walls to absorb it, is what they need, I don't know what they call them, that will absorb the echo. And also, since you're waiting, I will bring this up. There where the park is, business park, where the sign is, they put this big blue thing over the sign, industrial park, and you can't read what it says unless you stop and look at it. And I took a picture. It's future home of. And at the very bottom, it says Dallas Center Campus. You wouldn't know what it said unless you stopped and looked at it. And I had to take a picture. So do you need me to repeat it, or you don't know the answers to it?
Yeah, I need you to repeat it, because I honestly, with the echo in here, I didn't.
Okay. Why is the special notice of Appomattox County printed in the Farmville Herald? And what was the outcome of the court appearance when this property was supposed to go back to the Owens family, and how much money did the county lose because of it? Did you hear that?
I'll see, as I recall, we went to the Farmville Herald because it was significantly less expensive than Lynchburg. And as I recall, what's our publication requirements about the newspaper?
Publication requires for ordinances that they be posted in a newspaper of general circulation twice, once in each week prior to the week of the board meeting. They revised the legislation to say that the notices should go out no later than 28 days or no sooner than 7 days before the meeting.
Yeah, I can't understand what he says because of that.
So I guess there's no reason why we couldn't change, but it was,
Yeah, I know it's on the Appomattox County website, but doesn't everybody check that? And more people get the news in the paper form or either the e-edition, because at our household, we get the e-edition of the Lynchburg News in advance. So anyway, I was just wondering why there was a reason more people would be aware of it if it was printed, that they could get their hands on it a lot easily. And, okay, do you know the outcome of the court proceedings? The store has opened. I understand it was supposed to open like June or July. It just opened a few days ago because of all this.
all right. We'll take your comments under consideration. It's a citizen.
Will we ever know the outcome?
It's not an open dialogue period, it's a citizen's comment. So.
Mr. Chairman, if I
Yes.
may. Can you all hear us out there? Not really? Okay. All right. Well, Ace, I don't know how to solve that problem, but, yeah. Right. I don't know if some monitors could be, I think for the board at least, maybe some monitors up here. 1 or 2 little monitor speakers. Okay. For us, because I couldn't hear either. And maybe some down there for the audience, I don't know, but we'll scream, I guess.
Does it matter if you actually talk into the microphone? Can you hear me? The microphone is pretty far away from your face when you were talking.
You're going to have to turn that one down now. Well, that's, yeah, it's like, We'll get there.
But anyway, Ms. Adams, if you could share, Ms. Adams, if I could have your notes so I could read them, that would help me, if that's allowable, agreeable to you. And I'll get them from you after the meeting. All right. Okay, thank you, yeah. Good. Because we'll need to research those questions anyway, so. All right, next up is the appearances. These scheduled times provided by the board to allow citizens and organizations outside county government to discuss matters of importance with the board. First item up is resolution to honor Mr. Carter.
I thought we had done that.
Oh, no, this is an official one. So attached to the board's consideration adoption is a resolution to honor Mr. Samuel E. Carter, who's retiring on December 31st, 2025, after serving 28 years as a member of the Appomattox County Board of Supervisors. And the resolution is as such, Mr. Carter. Whereas Samuel E. Carter was elected by the citizens of the Courthouse District as a representative on the Appomattox County Board of Supervisors beginning with his first term on January 5th, 1998, held in the historic 1890s courthouse, and whereas Samuel E. Carter has served on the Board of Supervisors for 28 consecutive years, 14 of those years as chairman and 3 other years as vice chairman, and whereas Samuel E. Carter, as a member of the Board of Supervisors, served the county during several major construction projects, including the new courthouse, a new animal shelter, and reservations to the county administration building and the Carver Price Educational Center. And whereas Samuel E. Carter, as a member of the Board of Supervisors, actively championed economic development initiatives, including the growth of the Appomattox Center for Business and Commerce, the development of the CVCC Appomattox Center, and construction of the water line to Campbell County, and the universal availability of fiber to the home broadband services throughout Appomattox County. And whereas Samuel E. Carter, as a member of the Board of Supervisors, has been a strong proponent of recreational and tourism activities, contributing to the development of both Appomattox Community Park and Cortland Festival Park, and planning the implementation of the Appomattox Sesquicentennial commemoration and the installation of new county gateway signs. And whereas Samuel E. Carter, as a member of the Board of Supervisors, provided steady leadership during troubled times, particularly the EF3 tornado in February 2016 and the Transco pipeline explosion in September 2008, but also during the COVID pandemic years of the early 2020s. And whereas Samuel E. Carter, as a member of the Board of Supervisors, served as chairman during E911 implementation process, including street naming and addressing and renovation of the former clerk's office for use as a E911 dispatch center, and hiring and training of the E911 dispatchers. And whereas Samuel E. Carter, as a member of the Board of Supervisors, served the county during the construction of the new Appomattox Elementary School and the renovation and expansion of the Appomattox Middle School, Appomattox Primary School, and Appomattox County High School. And whereas Samuel E. Carter, as a member of the Board of Supervisors, was significantly involved in the decisions leading to the establishment of a manned solid waste convenience center and county membership in both the Blue Ridge Regional Jail Authority and the Region 2000 Service Authority. And whereas Samuel E. Carter, as a member of the Board of Supervisors, hired and provided oversight to 3 county administrators and also served the county through 3 redistricting processes, the recodification of the county code, and the adoption of updated zoning subdivision, and other important ordinances. And whereas Samuel E. Carter decided not to seek reelection to an 8th term representing the courthouse district, now therefore it is resolved that the Appomattox County Board of Supervisors does hereby officially recognize and thank Samuel E. Carter for his 28 years of service as a member of this body, and also for this 20 years of service as a member of the Appomattox Town Council and the years before, an incredible record of public service and commitment to his community. Be it further resolved that the Board of Supervisors does hereby wish for Samuel E. Carter the sincere hope of health and happiness as he steps away from this chapter of his life. Adopted by the County Board of Supervisors, Appomattox County Board of Supervisors on this 15th day of December of 2025. If I can have a motion to such.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Wolfskill's made the motion. Is there a second? Second. All those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution is approved. Mr. Carter, I hereby present you with this well-deserved resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and fellow board members.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, Sheriff Richardson, Mr. John Vanoy, Public Safety Manager, and Daniel Wells, Rescue Squad Captain, and Mr. Jonathan Garrett, Fire Chief, I requested to appear before the board to provide an update on public safety radio communications projects.
We wanted to come to you to let you know what has happened with the radio project and where we're planning on heading.
Use the mic.
Um,
Use the mic.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Is there feedback? All right, so far we spent about $400,000 on our radio project so far. That includes what we've done at the 911 center, upgrading our equipment there, and putting the sheriff's radios in his car and their portables. And we've purchased some radios for the Pamplin Fire Department. But we've done a lot so far, but we have a ways to go. And we've updated the towers. The one tower that we're on, we've updated that, and we've updated the monopole tower on the industrial park. So what we want to do now is we have some more projects coming up, and we need funding for this. So we've done a lot of tests. George and I went out and did testing. We put a temporary antenna up on the Bushy Hill tower that's on Highway 60, and we did a test on how far the coverage increased, and that test went very well. Our coverage increased greatly. So we want to seek permission to actually go ahead and put equipment on that tower and enter a contract for a lease on that tower as well. And George has done a lot of pricing and guessing. It's going to take between $110,000 and $120,000 to make that happen at that tower. And after that, we want to test Pamplin water tower out and try to do that same thing there, and the cost will be comparable, $110,000 to $120,000 there. So that'll be about $240,000 just to get us on those two towers. And after that, we want to, the Brims is shutting down their radio at the Lynchburg General Hospital, and that's Appomattox Rescue's communication between the ambulance and the MedCom group that they have to have as a backup communication for contacting them for patient information. They hardly ever use it, but it's something that's required by state law. So we've talked to Lynchburg, our Central Virginia radio board, to see if we can get on their radio system for the 4 ambulances so they can have communication to the hospital. And they agreed to let us on their system, but we have to have a Harris radio in that system. And Tom and Appomattox Rescue got a quote from the Harris system for $21,000 to add that to their squad. And that's something that we need to support and purchase for them. And that comes with an annual subscription, which is, we haven't gotten the cost for that yet, but they estimated between $300 and $500 annually per radio. But we only have to have 4 radios for that. And also, we need to purchase radios for our animal control and Appomattox Volunteer Fire Department and Appomattox Rescue Squad to move forward. And they have received quotes from Motorola for their projects.
Thank you all for having us. Just to kind of give a perspective to the citizens of Appomattox, since we're asking for a substantial amount of money for the citizens when we've already heard some, or seen their taxes and stuff with the assessments coming in. So this project started off, as all y'all know, about 3 or 4 years ago, about $11 million project, which was a huge hit, but it's something that we needed dearly in the public safety community. What the citizens don't realize is we at that time had one tower to work on. That tower went down for the sheriff's office. We had nothing but cell phones to talk on. So if a public safety incident happened, the citizens were just up creek until our phone was picked up, and we basically went back 50 years in communications at the sheriff's office. That cannot happen in today's world. So what we're doing now is trying to get up to speed with that. We're trying to get onto more towers. What Public Safety Director just talked about, our first thing is getting on our second tower. Right now we have one tower that we're on that gets us pretty good coverage in this time of year because there's no vegetation on the trees. We have a secondary tower, but it's obviously not as high. And at the time it went down, that tower was not working either. So we had two towers that were not working. The one tower we're on, it's working fine right now. It's putting out pretty good coverage. The other one, they call a monopole. It's just a smaller pole that's near the, on 26, near the industrial park. It just doesn't push out as far because it's not as high. So we do have a backup if something goes wrong. It's just not very helpful for us right now because it's not as high as the other tower. This second tower, if y'all agree upon today to get us up and running, it's going to give us coverage down near the river, which we do not have at this point. Once vegetation gets back out, we have radio coverage with the cars, but our mobile units or portable units do not work. Anywhere near the river, near the 4-H center, back around towards Hicksburg, if you're inside a structure, it will not work at all. So if you're in need for something desperate, it's not only for us, rescue, fire as well, nobody's mobile is really going to work if you're inside of a structure. So what we're going to ask today is, if y'all could, is allow us to move forward for the tower project, which is right now, is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a max $120,000. We don't know the exact cost yet until we get these products in, but each day we wait, products are kind of going up. So we do know it's going to be under $120,000 now to get up on this project. The other thing that they're going to have to do is they're going to have to maintain with them a monthly fee to being up on that tower. I don't know what that is yet. That's still in negotiation phases. So I do not have as far as I know, the Public Safety Committee does not have a number for that yet, or what the monthly cost is going to be on that tower. So from my perspective being up here, and I'll let Chief talk in just a minute on his, is getting us up on these towers is crucial right now. If the tower goes down again like it did before, there's a good chance we will not have coverage in this county. That if somebody's in need of something, we won't be able to get to them as soon as we could. So I would greatly appreciate it if y'all would pass on that. Chief, you want to get up and talk about the radios? It's up to y'all. We can do this separate. The chief is going to talk about his radios, which is another financial thing. And we all agreed in the Public Safety Committee, the towers was number one. They're in need of radios. I support that. But obviously getting up on these towers is crucial for all the public safety entities right now. Chairman, it's up to you how you want to handle that.
Well, let's hear what the fire chief has to say, and then when they're done with it, done with the presentation, we'll decide if we're going to take it all at once or partial it out.
If I may approach, I've got.
Thank you, Chief. One last.
Thank you.
So as the sheriff mentioned, we've had quite a bit of conversations about upgrading our public safety radio system. And in doing so, we're at a point where we've tried for the last 3 years to obtain a grant to replace our radios and the rescue squad radios and have been unsuccessful in doing that. So when we were discussing the tower options the other night, we mentioned in this committee that we needed to look into replacing the radios for the fire department rescue squad as well as animal control. So I was tasked with looking into options for that, and I went out and I talked to two different vendors, but I talked to all of the agency heads about these radios. 2 years ago, we went through some extensive testing to decide what type of radios we felt like would be best for our fire department specifically. And the rescue squad, when the conversations that I had with them, they felt like it was best to share a common type of radio. So with that, I got a quote before you tonight, and due to the timing of it, we didn't have enough time to have a public safety committee meeting again since the time that I received this, so we didn't have a consensus. So once you hear all my requests, I respectfully would like to see if you all would consider bringing this to a vote tonight for the fire department and rescue squad. But basically, we received a quote for $241,648.20 to replace 73 radios for the fire department and rescue squad. Fire department being the major bulk of the quantity of radios, and the type of radios that we need for our speaker mics to go into a structure fire is a little bit different than what the rescue squad needs. So our radios, speaker mics and things like that cost a little bit more than what the rescue squads would, but this gets us started on where we need to be at to get our radios replaced. It doesn't replace all of them, it would be a phased approach, but it gets us to a point where we can outfit the firefighters and rescue squad folks that need new radios. Currently, we're using radios that we got them in 2006 and put them in service, and we're still using those for a lot of our members. We have replaced some of them, but as we move forward, these radios will sort of future-proof the fire department and rescue squad as well as animal control to help meet the needs of our growing infrastructure of the radio system that Mr. Vinoy and Sheriff Richardson have presented before you all tonight. If you got any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. We've done a lot of homework associated with this. We've done some research. The other quote that I got was in the ballpark from Harris, but it was just a little bit higher. Not a significant amount, but it was a little bit higher. But we feel confident in the test that we've had done on these radios and the equipment. We trust it to send firefighters into the environments that they need to go into to help protect folks.
So if we upgrade your radios, what would be the life cycle of these radios? When would we have to replace them again?
When I asked them, typically 15 to 20 years is what the expectation is. We've been getting close to more than that, really, to be honest with you, 25, with what we've got existing now. But the answer to that question when I asked Motorola specifically was they are going to say 15, but as long as you take care of them, they plan on, I mean, we've got radios that have been in service much longer than that since before I was in existence that we're still using in the trucks.
Now, are the 4 radios we talked about for the EMS, are they in this quote?
They're separate from that because that has to be through Harris because of the regional system.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Hips?
has George looked over this quote?
I emailed it to him. I don't know if he had time to look over the specs of this. You looked over it?
This makes reasonable to you? Is it in line with what you'd expect?
The specifications of both companies are almost identical. The main consideration of the fire department is the microphones. They did the testing and they killed people by using the Motorola radios because that physical test that they conducted make them more confident using the Motorola microphones. And the specs for both radios are identical. Close, very close, identical. Which means, one for one. I don't know the MTBF, which in the meantime, the difference between the failure, each radio has some calculated failure ratio. I don't know specifically the numbers for each company, but both of the companies, MTBF, time between the breaks is very high. And it's up to the preference at this point or the quality of the microphone. I have no influence on purchase of this phone. I can say, spec is same or close, whatever the pricing is, more beneficial to you to go for. The microphone is the critical point in fire department. I don't know the rescue squad because I don't care. They don't care what they're going to use it. Because they're not using this high-end microphone.
Do you have anything to add to that, or?
No, and that's kind of what the test, we spent about 2 days testing these radios, actually 3 different vendor radios, and we experienced one failure, but it wasn't with the Motorola radio. So we've got 33 active firefighters that's right on their fire department right now. It's very hard to get every one of them to agree on something. This is one of them that every one of them agreed to on, if that makes sense. And so when I was looking at the radios, because this isn't the Cadillac by any means of what there is out there to offer. So we went with the lowest grade radio that stays within specification that we can get this speaker mic to try to save costs to the taxpayers. So this is still a quality radio that still meets all the specifications that we need it to meet and still accommodate that speaker mic that we need to go into house fires and get wet and high temperatures.
All right. I caught about 87% of that, so I think I got the joke.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Wuskill?
So this does cover the rescue squad too, though?
Yes,
It
sir.
does.
So everything's covered then?
Yes, sir.
And you'll all work with this new tower?
Yep.
And we've already spent some money for pamphlets too, and Prince Edward's helping out with them too, so.
So then, as I understand it, then what we're looking for is a maximum of 120K to update the infrastructure for the towers to provide
That's for
maximum
one
coverage.
tower. so
For the one
cover
tower.
That for Pamplin Tower too.
And then 241,648 for radios for EMS and fire,
Yeah, and animal control came in
and animal
a little
control.
bit more. There wasn't in that quote. So we still need to go out because we need to clarify one thing on their radio project.
Oh, it
Theirs
doesn't,
came in at 25,000.
That's not in this quote?
That's not in that quote.
so how much for animal control then?
25,000 currently, but we got to work their quote a little bit more, so
But that's not solidified yet.
that's not solidified.
Okay.
One of the main things why I asked for your consideration tonight is the urgency due to price increases that are probably going to impact, like the sheriff was talking about, cables, everything that we've dealt with. We see price increases quickly, and we expect that after the first of the year as well.
You know, part of the project,
On
when
the
George was
radios.
starting to figure out the pricing, just the cabling and the towers, and how many feet we have to have?
It was cost comparing to same time last year when I was starting on this project, double.
So,
1 year, which number is very fluid, because the metals, some is copper, obviously,
Right.
when that one runs, which is the product from using construct the cables and the line is double. The longest we wait, the more money it will cost down the future. That's my observation from it. And no vendor actually provides you quotation longer than 3 days. Whatever I had a couple months ago, quotation, you know, what to do.
Okay, board members, what's your pleasure? You want to consider each item individually, or you want to consider it as a package?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Hips?
just as a reminder, because we had discussed this recently in the public safety meeting that we had, that the board had essentially, when we hired George as an expert on this, and then continuing on through this conversation, you know, at one point in time, we were talking many millions of dollars
That's
to
right.
complete the project. And so while we're talking about huge sums of money here, we need to remember that all of this stuff and all of this information is part of the smaller option and smaller resolution to the problem.
Which was 10 million last time.
Right, I mean, it was like 10 or 13 million dollars originally, which
Right.
we're nowhere near that. So
Mr.
the,
Wuskill, Mr. Hips.
what's that?
I was reminding Mr. Wuskill that you have the floor.
Oh, yes. So I would be fine with doing just a motion for the entire thing, but I don't know what we need, you know. Well, you, go ahead. But
I think it would be better to say up to a certain dollar amount.
On-
And we had discussed that in the public safety meeting also to allow some flexibility.
on everything together?
That would be fine if you
What?
want to do it together.
Well, the radio quote is firm, but the 120 is, they're was 120 max. It could be less than that, but they don't expect it to go over 120.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Wilsko?
Per tower, so there would be two 120. Because they're, right, you're looking at doing this tower and the Pamplin Tower.
Tower, so it's 240,
So it'll be two, two times 120.
yeah,
So you're talking 2 times 120?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Wilsko. I was understanding that that was,
And also, the 21,000 for their rescue is firm. That's what Harris quoted.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Carter.
as far as the price on this, it cannot be made any more than for the citizens of the county. So I don't see a bit of problem. This is a no-brainer.
Agreed.
Thank you.
And let me clear, okay, now I'm confused because I thought that the fire chief said that in his quote of 241,000 was radios for the EMS, but now you're
It
telling
is EMS, no, the 4 from Harris, it has to be in the back of the EMS squad. The ones where Brims is shutting down, that 21,000,
So that's
because
what,
that 21,000 is for the Harris radios that have to be in the back of his squad.
so we're talking 120 twice, 249 and 21.
Yes, and
Plus animal control.
we got a quote for 25,000 for them,
For animal control.
but that one's not firm.
Okay, so we're looking at 240,
So I came up to,
530 would be a cap.
5:30.
yeah, I came up to 530. but it should
so if we
cover everything.
motion not to exceed 530, we'd be covering it. Okay, gentlemen, if you want to approve,
A question, Mr. Chairman. The cabling that was discussed, or, I can't remember, the big spools of cable, is this in that too? It is? Okay, all right.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
all right, Reverend Joseph made the motion to approval of the purchases and upgrades of the, purchase of radios and upgrades of the towers not to exceed $530,000. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Wolfskill's a second. Discussion? All right, Mr. Wolfskill?
Aye.
Mr. Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Carter? Mr. Hips?
All right.
I vote aye also. So your request has been approved, gentlemen. And as Mr. Carter says, it's a no-brainer for the protection of the citizens. All right, next up is Sheriff Richardson would like to appear before the board to provide our year-end update of his department.
Thank you, Chairman. First off, I just want to reiterate, thank y'all for that decision. And again, just for the citizen standpoint, we are substantially lower than what this project started off with a couple of years ago when we were doing the public safety investment into this. So a lot of money has been saved. A lot of that's thanks to George. I think he might have walked out, but okay, and he's done a lot for this project. So I just want to reiterate that how much we've saved through this process. Second, Mr. Carter, just want to say thank you for all you've done for this county, all on the board. I do appreciate it. We've been through a lot. You supported the sheriff's office all the way through it, and I do appreciate that. So thank you for your years of service.
I appreciate that.
Board, what I came up for is just to give the end of year stats. I'll be here pretty short on quickly. I just want to let y'all know that the sheriff's office this year has taken in and answered 13,328 calls this year. They have issued 2,492 summons. They've served 416 misdemeanor warrants and 306 felony warrants in the county. So I appreciate all y'all have done for us over the years and giving us extra deputies and stuff like that. We're putting them to work. Obviously, through these numbers, you can see at some point we're going to be back asking for more. The more the population is going up, the more these numbers are going up. 13,000 is a huge amount of calls for the deputies that we have on the road. On top of with the mental health challenges that we have, they're doing everything they can with, the mental people out there. So I do appreciate y'all giving us everything you have. Any questions?
Appreciate what you do, Sheriff, and also appreciate your comments about Mr. Shepard and the work he's done on your building.
Yep. Tell me we're waiting on it. We're looking for the future of it, wherever he's at. But we're looking forward to it. Thank y'all.
All right, next up is action items. First is the organizational meeting. Please schedule the 2026 organizational meeting of the board The staff recommendation is consider Monday, January 5th, 2026 at 6 PM. Staff recommendation is consider to hold the organizational 2026 organization meeting on Monday, January 5th at 6 PM. At the organizational meeting, the only business to be conducted is the election of the chair, vice chair, board clerk, and the adoption of the bylaws and rules and procedures, as well as setting the meeting dates and times. Is there a motion to such effect?
So moved.
Reverend Jones's motion to approve the setting of Monday, January 5th, 2026 at 6 PM as the organizational meeting. Is there a second? Mr. Hips has seconded. Discussion? Mr. Wuskill.
Aye.
Reverend Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Hips. Aye. Mr. Carter.
Uh-huh.
I vote aye also. So, January 5th. Next up is the Emergency Operation Plan. Mr. John Benoit, Public Manager, is requested to appear before the board to discuss update of the Emergency Operation Plan, which is updated every 4 years. Also attached for the board's review in consideration is adoption of a resolution supporting the Appomattox County's updated Emergency Operations Plan for 2025. Should that be 2026 instead of 2025? That's presented by Mr. Vanoy. Consider adoption resolution supporting the Appomattox County adopted. Ready for hear the plan, John?
So the plan is the same as that's been approved the last 4 years. These are the only changes that have been made. I think Mr. Winfield did a pretty good job with the plan. So mostly for the plan, the only thing I did was update a lot of the typographical and numbering issues and POCs that have gone and left and came back for their positions. And one of the items that was updated was the Times Virginian is no longer in existence, so we took that out. And the George Taylor Dam is monitored by the state, so we had to add that to our plan, and that's off of Hook's Landing, just down in Evergreen. It's a large lake that's down there. Updated some new medical facilities since 4 years ago. A couple of them have come, are the Blue Ridge, one has come into our community. And I updated a pandemic chart for all that's happened since the last one has taken effect. That's all the changes that I made to our current plan. So now we have to reauthorize that same plan. Any questions?
Okay, is there any questions for Mr. Vanoy on the plan?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we adopt the emergency operation plan.
All right, Mr. Carter's made the motion to adopt the plan. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Wolfskill, second. Any further discussion? All righty, Mr. Wolfskill.
Aye.
Reverend Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Carter.
Aye.
Mr. Phipps. I vote aye also. The resolution supporting the Appomattox County Updated Emergency Operating Plan is approved. Next up is schedule a public hearing for CUP 250870 Benton Bowman. Mr. Benton Bowman has petitioned for a conditional use permit to operate an outdoor shooting range on approximately 571 acres off of Wildway Road in the Oakville community. The Planning Commission met in December and held a public hearing. 6 citizens spoke in opposition, while 4 citizens spoke in support of the petition. The Planning Commission voted 6-1, Mr. O'Brien dissenting, to recommend the approval of the petition with conditions prior to consideration of the recommendation by the Board of Supervisors. The board will need to schedule a public hearing to receive public comment. Staff recommends that the public hearing be scheduled at the regular January 2026 meeting at 6 p.m. So the date would be put in after we set our schedule at the organizational meeting. So is there a motion to schedule the public hearing at the regular January board meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I make that
Reverend Jones.
motion.
Reverend Jones has made the motion to schedule a public hearing at the regular January meeting. Is there a second? Second. Mr. Hips has seconded. Discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, public hearing be scheduled at the regular scheduled January meeting. Next up is schedule a public hearing on proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance, section 19.6-87.2 cemetery. The Planning Commission met in December to consider an amendment to the zoning ordinance to eliminate the minimum lot size for cemetery lots. The Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend the amendment. The Board of Supervisors need to hold a public hearing prior to consideration of the amendment. The recommendation is to schedule a public hearing at the regular January 26th board meeting. Is there a motion to schedule the hearing?
So moved.
Mr. Hips has moved to schedule the hearing at the regular January meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Wolfskill seconded. Discussion? All right, all those in favor of holding the proposed zoning ordinance amendment on cemeteries at the January regular board meeting? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. We'll have a cemetery public hearing at the January meeting. Next up, acceptance of a secondary road industrial park lane, Route 751 and West Ridge Lane. Staff has been working with the Virginia Department of Transportation over the past few months to have two segments of the industrial park lane and all the West Ridge Lane accepted into the secondary systems of state highways. This will include a total extension of 0.15 miles of industrial park lane, Route 751, and two segments, and the addition of 0.08 miles for the West Ridge Lane. West Ridge Lane will become a state route 753. All outstanding portions of the roadway will now be included in the state road system. Please consider adopting the attached resolution and authorize the county administrator to sign the VDOT form AM 4-3. As I understand it, gentlemen, this is something that VDOT's just been sitting on their hands and not done. Is that right? Ms. Adams?
Just a formality since we'll be selling property in the park.
So is there a motion to adopt the resolution and allow the county administrator to sign the VDOT form?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Wolfkill's made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Reverend Jones has seconded. Discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, wait a minute, this is a resolution, I'm sorry.
Oh.
All right, Mr. Wolfskill.
Aye.
Reverend Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Carter.
Aye.
Mr. Hips. Aye. I vote aye also. Ms. Adams, you're authorized to sign the VDOT. Next up is the holiday schedule. Attached is the board considerations of 2026 holiday schedule for Appomattox County employees. Also attached is a copy of the Commonwealth of Virginia 2026 pay and holiday calendar that the county aligns with for employee benefits. Staff recommends considering adoption of the 2026 holiday schedule for Appomattox County employees.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Hips, please make sure we don't make the mistake about Thanksgiving we did last year.
that's what I was going to just bring up. Mr.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Hips.
Ms. Adams, I don't see any straggling days in the calendar this year, as far as being off and coming in one day and stuff like that. Would you agree that that's, how did it go with taking off the entire day before Thanksgiving? Any complaints? Any issues?
I'm not aware of any complaints. I know that several staff members sent the board
Yeah.
a note of thanks. I think the departments appreciated it.
I don't have a problem with continuing to do that. But, just my opinion, and if there hadn't been complaints on it, I think we could extend that. Again, that would be November 25th, so we would just do a full day.
On the
on November-
25th,
On the 25th. So we need to phrase that as 4 additional hours? Is that
additional 4 hours. That's correct.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we accept the 2026 holiday schedule with the addition of four additional hours on November 25th, making that a complete day on that.
All righty, is there a second to Mr. Hipp's motion to approve the holiday schedule as written with the addition of 4 additional hours on November 25th?
I'll second that.
Reverend Jones has seconded. Any more discussion? Mr. Whipskill.
Aye.
Reverend Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Carter. Mr. Hips. I vote aye also. All right. Next up, review public facilities substation number 1, Central Virginia Electrical Co-op. Virginia's Code Section 15.2-2232 requires the Planning Commission to review all proposed public utility facilities prior to construction of said facility to determine if the general or approximate locations, character, and extent of the proposed facility is substantially in accord with locality comprehensive plan or part thereof. Central Virginia Electric Co-op will be constructing a new substation with battery storage on Lot 1 in the Appomattox Center for Business and Commerce. The Planning Commission met in December, unanimously found that the utility substation and appurtenant facilities to serve the Appomattox community are determined by the Planning Commission and be in substantial accordance with the county's comprehensive plan. Staff recommendation, no action required, so that's just informational.
Just informational, that's correct.
All righty. And the second one, section 2232, another one. Planning Commission review proposed public utility facilities, yada, yada. Constructing a new subdivision in the Appomattox Center for Business and Commerce to serve the data center project. Planning Commission met, found that it met substation and requirements, and it did not, and it was planning as being in substantial accord with the county's comprehensive plan. No action required by us. Any questions of the county administrator or Johnny about those 2 actions? All righty, next up is committee appointments. Item 13 is Library Board of Trustees. Please consider an appointment to replace Mr. Brandon Barney and serve as the Falling River District Representative on the Library Board of Trustees with a 4-year term ending June 30th, 2029. I reviewed the files of 2 candidates and recommending that the board approve appointment of Mr. Neil Seltz. He's an Appomattox County High School graduate. He's an Army veteran and currently works for, a Marine veteran that served in Ramada and Fuji. Yeah, I always have trouble with them names. Anyway, and he's currently employed by BWXT as an operation manager. So I move that the board appoint Neil Seltz to the Falling River District Library Board of Trustees, 4-year term ending June 30th, 2029.
Second.
Mr. Hips has seconded. Is there discussion? Mr. Wolfskill?
Aye.
Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Carter? Mr. Hips? Aye. I vote aye also. I'll be getting you his information, Ms. Adams.
Okay.
All right. Next up is the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes approval of bills, minutes, supplemental appropriations, line item transfers, fund transfers. Any item on the consent agenda shall be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any board member prior to the vote on a consent agenda. Items removed from the consent agenda shall be considered by the board individually in order to which they were removed from the consent agenda immediately following consideration of the consent agenda. Any changes or corrections to the consent agenda? If not, we'll accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Reverend Jones has moved to approve the consent agenda as submitted. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Carter has made a second. Is there discussion? Mr. Carter, how do you vote? Mr. Hips? Mr. Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfskill?
Aye.
I vote aye also. All right. Next up is the attorney's report.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I don't have anything specific, but I will be providing you with the necessary closed meeting motion at the appropriate time.
All righty. Administrator's report.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman and Board of Supervisors, I am going to take this time to dedicate to Mr. Carter. So in lieu of my report, unless you want me to extend it, I'll be happy to do so. So I want to thank you for your service to the citizens of Appomattox County. I remember the day that I was offered the position by the Board of Supervisors in which you served. Your life was changed forever. 2 Charlotte County women entered your life. You announced that you and Gloria had gotten married that weekend, and I signed on to serving as a county's administrator. You've reminded me many times about those Charlotte County women through the years. I appreciate your mentorship, wisdom, guidance, and support since 2015. During my first year, Appomattox was impacted by the tornado. You were with us knocking on doors, checking on citizens, and working countless hours to assist the needs of others. This is one of many acts of kindness you offered with a smile and, when appropriate, inserted a joke. No matter the circumstance, you rendered your support, and for that I am grateful. Don't forget how I convinced you that Appomattox needed Cortlandt Park. You were a real trooper during our walks through every park from Richmond to Washington, D.C. Finally, in D.C., during a frigid day, the wind blowing 90 miles an hour, and our decision to walk through the community park while returning to Union Station, I'll never forget you saying, "Okay, Ms. Adams, I am convinced, so don't make me walk through another park." As a committed group of leaders and wonderful support staff members, we encountered fun times, sad times, unsettled times, serious times, while maintaining a level of professionalism. My list could go on, but for the sake of everyone's time, I'll wrap up by saying, your legacy will remain in all of us that have had the privilege of working with you. Thank you for inspiring us to love this county and its citizens as much as you do and thrive every day to improve its quality of life. Although you're retiring, you're still with and welcome with us.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate that.
That's all.
All right, any questions for the county administrator on her report? All right, supervisors' concerns, Mr. Wolfskill.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it. I think most of us know Anthony Train in his podcast. I think most of us know Anthony Train. I have the honor and pleasure of serving with him on the DSS advisory board, where he serves as chairman. He's a good gentleman, does a lot of stuff to help a lot of people. Recently, the PTO of the grade school, elementary school, asked him to serve as Santa Claus, which he accepted. A few days later, the principal rescinded that request. And I think it's really unfortunate because Anthony is a great man. and that is a concern. That doesn't sit well with me. Thank you.
I don't think, I think Mr. Carter and I both had problems hearing what you said. You talk so slow, soft.
Oh, you want me to do it again?
Yes, please.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes.
See, when you get hearing aids, you think you're talking real loud, and you're not. I have the honor and the privilege to serve on this county's DSS advisory board with Anthony Train, a great man that serves the county well, has a pretty famous podcast. He's a good gentleman, does a lot for kids, does a lot for a lot of people. Recently, the PTO reached out and asked Anthony to serve as Santa Claus for the elementary school, and he was excited to do that. A few days ago, the principal of the elementary school rescinded that request for an uncomfortable reason. And it upsets me, and it shouldn't have happened. And that's a supervisor concern tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wesco. I understand. I got the gist of it now.
Could you hear me better?
You might ask Mr. Tibbs about that after the meeting. Superintendent of schools.
Okay.
Reverend Jones.
Yes, I don't have a concern, but I would like to commend Ms. Adams and the staff for putting together a wonderful ribbon cutting ceremony and also honoring our retiring Board of Supervisor, Mr. Carter. It was just a wonderful experience, and the staff did a wonderful job of putting this together. And I'm so thankful that this courthouse was saved for the citizens. And my hope and prayer is that not only will Board of Supervisors meetings or planning commissions or even the school board use this facility, I think we've got to find a way to involve more people using this facility. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. Mr. Carter.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'll start off by saying I thank each and every fellow board member for the workmanship and that we experienced in the last, what is it, maybe 4 years, I think. Is that right? I think we're doing what's best for the county in the long run. And a lot of times we don't agree. As the former Mayor Spiegel used to say, agree to agree on the agreement. But I'm going to miss you, I tell you. Now, I'm going to miss you. And if there's ever anything I can do for the county that you all need, please let me know. Feel free to let me know. And I thank you.
Mr. Carter. Mr. Trips.
Just the first thing goes without saying, whatever we can do to improve the quality of the meetings with the sound. I'm the youngest person on the board by far, no offense, but I can't hear anything, so it's definitely an issue that we need to figure out. I think, are we only using the TVs? I think that's the problem. I mean, we're going to need some speakers, I think, instead of those, but Mr. Carter, I've appreciated serving with you, and I don't know how you've done this for 28 years. I really don't know how you did this for 28 years. You know, you mentioned that we didn't agree on everything. Of course, that's true. However, I think we did actually agree on most things, and you know, conducted ourselves professionally. One thing that was mentioned during this resolution was COVID-19. something about COVID in there, and that triggered a memory in me that during the hysteria of COVID, the chairman has great influence on how the meetings are conducted and, you know, how much hysteria Mr. Carter wanted to give into. And it was nice and refreshing to me that he was not fearful going into that and maintained the same county operations, obviously with the various mitigation things that you're supposed to do. But in general, you maintained the ship. You maintained course, and we held normal meetings. You didn't make demands of other supervisors or people in the audience to do this or that or whatever it is, and we kept a, you know, pretty normal operation. I think that was commendable.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's been a pleasure, truly.
Thank you.
And I likewise, Mr. Carter, although we've been on this board 6 years together.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, and I still remember my young days when, like I said, you know, you were talking in one ear and Watt was talking in the other ear, and it's like, but I appreciate your mentorship, and I've tried to emulate you in this job.
Thank you.
Because of the way you performed when you were chairman. It was.
Thank you.
Other than that, my concerns are, and I think, well, this one is comes from Mr. Jones's district, but I wanted to, since we're having trouble with the sound, give Miss Adams some answers here. Johnny, on the wedding venue, her first thing was that they're playing the music too loud and outside, and I think the part of the deal was that they can only play music on the inside. Yeah. So if you might want to check on that, maybe have the sheriff go by and do his sound test or whatever, because, and maybe want to talk to Miss Adams to get more details. Then she also asked about the water line, and that is a question for the EDA and the town. Basically, the county's out of the water business.
That one up, yeah, I'm in the county, but I'm on town water, and I heard, as you read in my notes, that I heard Camel Candy was not going to renew the contract with the county, but that's where the water comes from, because of the dam.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors out there. And then on the Oakville issue that you brought up, I'll let Miss Adams talk to you about the Oakville. Unless the county attorney are we all settled on the Oakville county attorney?
I'm not aware of any outstanding legal matters.
And the land was free and clear. There is no problem with the estate, if that's your question.
Now, what was the court's decision?
Pardon?
I heard it went to court, give the land at Oakville?
No, it's not in court. Yeah, this is Oakville. There's no court action on the Oakville property.
I'm told it went to court.
Nope.
And I heard too that the county might lose money because of it. So you hear stuff, you don't know what to do. You know? So.
Nope, as our county attorney said, it's free and clear, done deal. We didn't lose any.
Okay, because I understand Mr. Owens, that it was in the same office building of the Dollar General in another state. He came here, Mr. Owens actually came here.
Well, if you got further questions, call Miss Adams and she can fill in the details, or call me and I'll call Miss Adams to get the details for you. Other than that, I guess other than that, my only concern is with the railroad for their failure to provide our citizens access to internet. A lot of our internet we can't get through because it has to cross the railroad, and the railroad company is obstinate. And I understand from Mr. Spencer that when Dominion was trying to put internet through one area in the county and they had to deal with going under the railroad tracks, it took 14 months for the railroad to give approval to that action. So you people out there, I had a call from a lady up in the Doubletree Road area, and it's the same problem up there, the railroad, and it might 14 months for them to take action on that. It's just like, our hands are tied. Upcoming meetings will be determined on January 5th. And now we're going to move into closed session.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the board will need to make a motion to enter into closed session for the limited purpose of consultation with legal counsel and staff pertaining to actual litigation, or where such consultation or briefing in open meeting would adversely affect the negotiating or litigating posture of the board related to Region 2000, and a discussion regarding a prospective business where no previous announcement has been made of the business's interest in locating its facilities in the county pursuant to sections 15.23711A, 5, and A7.
Is there a motion to that effect? Mr. Wolfskills made the motion. Is there a second? Second. Mr. Hips is seconded. All those in favor, saying aye. Aye. Okay, you people can stay sit if you want, or we'll go to our closed session room.